very focusing word. I learned to say it very deep by running in the mountains and going, whoosh! And I learned to say it with a heart and softness, whoosh. So try it. Y-O-I-S-H. Whoosh. Whoosh. Wow, that was pathetic. Let's try that again, okay? Whoosh. 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 Now you're screwing up. Smile, smile. Try one more time. Yeah, we're getting it. All right, I'm a barefoot salesman. I know what a lot of you are thinking right now, that I'm running around and trying to be a hobbit. I get that a lot. And I want to point out to you, hobbits are only this high, 3 feet high. I'm a little taller. And I was on that National Geographic television show. That guy's 7 feet tall, blows gum out of his butt. I was the stunt guy. That's how I got the job. So I want to ask you a question. You have a plant, and you put it in a flower pot, and you leave it in that flower pot too long, what happens? Gets root bound, yeah. And that happened to me years ago. And we've been talking today about, John has been bringing up about a calling and a vision. And I was talking to a great aunt of mine about a year ago, and she said, you know, you got your calling when you were a little kid, and she reminded me. Does anybody remember the potato head? She said you would always take the feet and put them on the ears. And then years later, I had hurt my feet, and I started stepping out and started realizing my feet didn't fit the earth. And I began to see the vision. I went deep into the mountains. I went way back up in there. I was living in caves, swinging in trees, learning how to cobble my soles into the earth. And then I would come back out, and I was always having this interference with my talk. My talk and my walk didn't align. And so I began to muse with my muscles, songs, and open up my heart, open up my touch to that. And in all this practice of finding story, 3 things came to me. We gather, we store, and we release. How do you release? How do you tell your story? How do you gather? How do you store it? You know, and then how do you gather it? So I was working on that, and I ran into this Scotsman, John. And I found when I was coming back out that my words did not match what I was running into. Even being able to hold conversations with people, it was just not fitting. There was a faster pace going on with conversation. There was words that they were saying, and I just no longer could find the meaning to that word. And I'd like to point out here, I started using my feet and started working on the language I use, working on the alphabet. Let's take the word meaning. So I'm running along meaning. There's 2 words there, me and, me and, me and. What is the me and? And sounds into land. So I'm landing earth, finding out who me is. But ing is a Celtic word, means the people of. And so I began to take literal talk, turn it into a poet's foot, go up and chant it, and come back down again. So this is real quick, but that's what I'm working on. So I run into John, and he's got this, let me go back up, storytelling. I see storytelling in 3 ways. There's the oral delivery, the old way of our ancestors. There's the written version. We write things down, gets a hold of our left brains, and we're doing this writing. And now there's this electronic medium. And so here are these 3 ways of telling story. I run into John. He says this incredible thing that fit my vision, fit my calling, and really sent me off on my mission. See, I think you can find your calling. I think you can find your vision. It doesn't mean a damn thing until you put it into a mission. And a mission is a physical thing. It is moving and sharing your mission and building missions. Everybody follow me? Yeah. Yeah, we're getting better. So, John, I went to write down what he said. He picked this up from a Maori Indian, T.M.E. Ranapiri. He learned it orally. Then I wanted to learn it. And so I'm there with that written form. He goes, oh no, you gotta place this in your memory. It took me 3 weeks walking in the mountains with him to learn this. And another thing that I want to bring in, from the Salish people, from the whole tribe, the elders there and the Quileutes, I learned the gifting song. And for me, coming in here has been a tremendous gift. I've been on a long walkabout. I am a barefoot salesman. I try to steal shoes if I can. If I can't steal your feet, I'll try to steal your shoes off of you. And I've been running around and doing that. And he gave me this because I find we are at a time where our people are becoming sedentary, polarized, and defeated. We're losing our walk, and I spelled defeated with 2 E's. Think about it. So I'm running around. I want to give you a quick example. I walk into a store, and everybody tries it. Just walk in barefoot. What happens? Here comes the shoe police. Hey, bud, you got no shoes on. You know, it's like, whoa, son of a bitch. What's that about? You know, and it's a shoe store. I can't go and get a shoe. So being coming in here, and I've been trying to run into John for a long time, and I've shared practice and shared with other people up at Washington. Wash school up there, incredible people, incredible movement that's going on now. And I think the call of our time. And so I want to share this one from you, and understand it came from 3 weeks walking in the mountains, and I need some help doing it. I got to catch this muse. So in the practice I share, the first basic movement in order to unify us as earthlanders, putting our souls back into the earth, musing and speaking from that, is to raise your hands up. We got them up. Now reach down and take off those shoes. Come on, help me out here. It will channel energy. I don't want to take my shoes off. Take it off. While you're taking your shoes off, I want to point something out. You could take a voltmeter. A friend of mine, Clint Ober, came up with this. You can take a voltmeter, put the negative end in the ground, hang on to the positive end, and you can watch the positive charge in your body ground down. But when you're doing that, notice this. You'll notice that you start feeling the beauty and the wonder of that. That feeling is connected. They got scientific proof now. When you step out, start landing in, it starts affecting your whole neural pathways. It starts opening up a journey and a path into the source of all story, and that's the earth. All right, so everybody got the shoes off?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we could pile them over there. It makes it easier when I steal them. Here we go. What I have to do is get back on the trail with him. This is a song, some words of wisdom that came out of a Maori Indian out of New Zealand. John carried it and shared it orally, and now I do. It's about spirit. It's about movement. It's about this time we're at where people are becoming defeated, unsure of their calling and their vision. And it's helped me a lot as I walk along the road, and that road is a wall, people. It's a wall. It has guard duties and sentries on it. A lot of animals dead alongside the road. That road is a wall, and all roads lead back to Rome. Building of civilization, building of the world. I track the word world. It's a German word, a Nordic word of my people. It means the age of humans, the age of man. And think about it when you hear it. When I was in the Marines, we were always looking to get back to the world. That's what we called it. And so if you have that world, what else do we have? Earth, stepping out and landing Earth. Yush. Yeah, let's try. Yush. Kind of getting kind of good. The sun may be clouded, but even the sun will sweep on its course till its cycle is run. And when into chaos our system is hurled, again shall the movement form in your world. Your path may be clouded, uncertain your goal. Move on, for your orbit is fixed to your souls. And even though it may lead you into the darkness of night, the torch of the movement will give a new light. You were and you will be, and know this while you are. Your movement has traveled both long and afar. It comes from the source, and to the source it shall return. For the spark that ignited eternally burns. Your spirit has slept in a jewel, leaped in a wave, roamed in the forest, and rose from the grave. It's taken on strange garb for eons of years. And now in the soul of yourself it appears. From body to body the spirit moves on. It takes on a new form when the old one's gone. And the form that it finds is in the fabric you have wrought, on the mind of the loom, on the fiber of thought. Yeah, that was good, huh? But like dew that is raised upward in rain to descend, your thoughts will drift away and destinies blend. You cannot escape this, for petty or great or evil or noble, it has fashioned your fate. But know this, my brothers and sisters, you are your own devil and you are your own God, and you fashion the path that your footsteps have trod. And nothing will save you from error or from sin until you awaken to the movement with no end. Yours. That's a gifting song to you, brother.